Hello there, fellow NPCs. I am Scythe, and today we're going back into Chasing Sunsets. And we are entering Chapter 4 right now, which means that in 9 songs, Amanda is going to show up on the sunset as well. A new character will show up. It will be a lot of fun. And I know from the tournament that I had earlier that this is a throuple. The possibility. You can get into a relationship with Amanda and Mallory. And no, they were not the winners. I think they might have come in 2nd or 3rd place. Yeah. So people love this couple. But yeah, for now, let's get to the Campbell home 16 years ago. Oh, it's a memory again. And oh right, something else we learned in the previous episode is that Jay really wants to confess her feelings to us. That'll be fun. But now, let's go. Campbell home, Boston, MA, 16 years ago. As what's left of Hurricane Tegan blows through the greater Boston area, residents are warned. Psst! Kurt! Wake up! Big storm, Kurt. I declare emergency Bedford. Oh yeah? What's the password? Jay gives you a frustrated look. Maybe Mom and Daddy's Bedford has less attitude. Just kidding, get in before I change my mind. Jay wiggles in next to you with a satisfied sigh. The soft breath tickles your nose. We should have more emergency Bedfords. Not just for storms. Why? I don't know. I just like it here. Well, as soon as it's safe, you gotta go back to your own bed. We'll see about that. As our warmth and scent around you, a strange tingle forms in the pit of your stomach. The two of you lay without speaking, listening contentedly as the winds wreak havoc outside. Kurt? Sleep is yes, you can stay until it's safe. We'll take first watch. Jay waits until your breathing deepens and then she thinks you've drifted off. I'm safe wherever you are, Kurt. You know that's silly. It's even a Han Solo toy. Soon, Jay's soft snoring joins your own, and the storm continues to rage. MV Sunset, Republic of Tunalu. Question is, would we have this memory if we were on really bad terms with Jay? That would be interesting to know. Jay stares moodily out over at the overcast morning. No attending this morning, I guess. Those are some ugly clouds. Jay glances at the journal in her hand as she moves toward her bed. So, he rode the Trans-Siberian to Moscow and flew back to Palermo from there. Isha. I've been drinking a lot more lately. It's a good way to not dwell on what I could have done differently. Still, waking up in David's place makes putting it behind me impossible. Poor Kurt. David's death really messed him up. If my last update is anything to go by, I've been on a month-long bender. Ooh. I have to find a better way to cope. There are no answers in the bottle. Should I just walk into his room and hug him? No. There'd be questions. There's a new entry a few days later. Mom left a voicemail. Mom and Dad are coming to Sicily tomorrow. I thought it'd be tough to face them, but I just feel relieved. What? I wonder if it's just the two of them or if Jay's with them. This must be the reunion he didn't want to talk about. Wait, Dad and Mom met up with Kurt just a week before? A wave of emotion sweeps through her, and she fights back, pooling tears. Smiling through the pain, she feels a weight on her heart lifted. You couldn't know it was a goodbye, but at least you saw each other before the end. Jay lays back with her eyes closed until the swirling emotions recede. Odd. He didn't write anything about how it went, or what they talked about. Skipping ahead, he paid off his tab at the Portage Coletti and... Hello, what have we here? Oh ho! He got picked up by some marriage chick on the way out. She was so timid. I thought she had me mixed up with some celebrity. She said I was her pick and asked me to come back to my place. I almost said no, but there was something intriguing about her. Yep, it's gonna fuck her. Am I really gonna do this to myself again? Jay feels a flash of jealousy, which is quickly overwhelmed by curiosity. Already wet? I should just count all of his journals to see how many organs they packed for. Her name was Fiona, and she said this was payback for her husband's cheating. I should have backed out, but I didn't. And I know why. Red hair, green eyes. Wait, this was just a few months ago. Does this mean he's still... Oh, wow. Almost absently, Jay slides her panties aside so her fingers can begin working their magic. I thought I had Jay out of my head, but Fiona proved that wrong. Even the scent of her pussy reminded me of Sis. Oh, God! Jay's finger finds her sensitive clit and the journal falls to the floor amidst her stifled moans. Boom. You awaken suddenly as one of your journals slides off your desk onto the floor. It must be a pretty good surf up. The boat's moving more than usual. Glancing at your phone, you see you have a message waiting. I guess I'm starting off my day with Fiona Tear Crazy. Text me when you wake up, darling. If I can choose to ignore it, I will. I don't care about Fiona. She's not important. I'm not in the mood for her particular brand of crazy this morning. I better get a shower before the bathroom gets busy. God, this feels amazing. I even managed to get to the shower without flashing my junk to every girl on the deck. As you soak in the warm shower, you hear the bathroom door open. Oh, occupied! Jay strides in nonchalantly and begins detangling her hair as if you aren't there. I'll be quick. This humidity really does a number on my hair. Jesus Christ, Jay, I'm naked in here! Oh, please, it's not like we haven't shared a bathroom before. That was before you had tits. Jay glances at your poorly concealed crotch in the mirror and smirks. This does not happen between siblings. She has an agenda. We've certainly grown up a bit since then, haven't we? Do any of the locks around here work? Yeah, about that. The bathroom door is janky. This is revenge for the container on the docks, isn't it? Hey. She got her eyes set on us for some reason. I feel like I'm Ace Ventura all of a sudden. Jay turns and approaches the shower. Her intense emerald gaze boring into you. Yeah, with those shoulders, with the way he stands, I can only assume that he's straightened up, relaxed, and released control of his hands. Not release control, that would mean something else. He is not using them for shields anymore. Her movement oozes sexuality, which your Kark interprets as a green light to mutiny. Oh god, no, not now! Hurry up. I'm almost done. Oh no, she's walking closer. Jay's smoldering eyes looks deep into yours before drifting downward. Are you really though? The fact that he gave away journals with those words written in them. And dude, I left marks in my hand when I bit it. I know this is payback. The mischievous smirk, Jay turns back towards the mirror. Oh, Kurt, you aren't getting up that easy. That wasn't payback. This is payback. I need to... The reason I'm responding like this is because I need to know more about their mindset. Do they think of each other as siblings still or not? I don't know. Because obviously they have a bunch of mindfucks about being siblings. But they are still referring to each other as siblings and still going forward with this, which means either that they don't even see each other as siblings or that they are okay with being siblings. I don't know what it is. Once I figure that out, I hope I can handle this a lot better. The shrug of her shoulders, the robe slips to the floor. Maybe I should do my makeup while I'm here. You wouldn't mind, right? You gave him mingled shock and lust for several moments before finding a tongue. When I accidentally started it yesterday, you almost jumped overboard. And overnight you become a Miley Cyrus Father Day card. For a moment, Jay's smirks fades and her reflection looks conflicted. I read about Fiona in your journal. She reminded you of someone, didn't she? Fiona, what does that have to do with anything? This time it's not your imagination looking back at you in that mirror, Kurt. Oh, he even wrote that much, huh? Then this... Voila. As I said, I don't know how to write in a journal, but I feel like he is writing down everything that we've seen in this game so far. Fuck, I forgot they even wrote about that. When you're done taking care of that, George wants to see us topside. Jay grabs a robe and slips out, leaving you confused and alone. Slab. That's an angry word. Morning wood. Enjoy a smoke show during your morning shower. The renegade erection ignores your outraged glare. Son of a bitch. Seriously? What is wrong with you? And these sunset 30 minutes later. Wow. Arriving at the conference room minutes later, you find the girl seated across from George. Morning, George. Ladies. Sorry I'm late. Jay shoots you a wicked smirk. You were sure in the shower for a while, massaging out some tension. It's fair to say I was dealing with an unexpected pain. Was that a slight limp I detected when you walked in? Oh. Wanna take bets on which of us walks funny when this game is... They crossed the line now. Jeez. Oh, I love games. George clears his throat with a clear intent of interrupting the banter. Kurt, I promised I'd tell you everything when I left your room last night. Last night? Yeah, Mallory just dropped by to review what we've uncovered in Mom's notes. If you don't mind, we should get started. There's a lot to cover this morning. Miss Chapman, since you've already begun, the floor is yours. Mary looks uncharacteristically nervous as she begins. So I've been transparent about my father working with Sarah as Pricer, and about his suicide when I was young. Kurt gave me the quick rundown. What an awful thing to carry with you. Yeah, well, the more I discover, the less awful that memory becomes. Digging through his storage unit told the real story of who he was. And who he wasn't. What do you mean? He was obsessed with a colleague at the office. Kept detailed files on her. Candid photographs, a lipstick-stained coffee cup, even a hair clipping. Ooh. He went so far as to put his career on hold to continue working with her. We're not talking about your mom, are we? No, we're talking about yours. I don't recall Sarah ever mentioning having a secret admirer or stalker. I doubt she ever saw him as one. He was very meticulous. He wrote about asking her out after her divorce and getting turned down. Sounds like he didn't take no for an answer. Pricer tried to pull him off the pregnant to pursue a crucible full time. But he refused to leave Sarah's team, until she quit anyway. That should have been the end of it then. You'd think. And now you know a little bit about who Devin Chapman was. But what's relevant to me has more to do with who he wasn't. Mallory pauses, and you can see the conflict in her eyes. Take your time. It's just very personal. When Dad passed, OCFS ran my DNA to identify my next of kin. That's when I learned Devin Chapman was not my father. No relation at all, in fact. Well, that's a relief, but I'll confess, I don't see where this is going yet. Well, the obvious explanation was that my mother had an affair. I had that theory tested when I finally tracked her down. Again, no DNA match. Imagine learning everything you grew up believing about you, who you were, was a lie. In desperation, I ran my DNA against a lock of Sarah's hair from my dad's locker. Ah, now it makes sense. Those are the DNA results you shared with me in Boston. One of them, I submitted 5 tests, and they all came back inconclusive. All except one. What did the test results say, George? You hear footsteps approach, and you're interrupted by Captain Oliver and Sophie. Apologies for the intrusion, George. No, where the fuck did my French go? But Leinani, she has changed course. Leinani? Leinani is a tropical cyclone that was projected to swing north of the islands. Damn, just what we didn't need. What can we expect if it hits us? 40 knot winds and rough seas at best, but a smart captain plans for the worst. That means we must be safely anchored to the hurricane hole before sundown. Hurricane hole? A sheltered bay to weather the storm. But much needs to be done between now and then. All hands, including guests, will be needed to help prepare. Lisa's flight arrives this afternoon. If it doesn't get diverted, she'll need a pickup. I need the storm supplies fetched from the marina shop regardless. That is near the airport. Kurt, please head into town and collect her supplies and our CEO when she arrives. Jay, you will help Oliver and crew prepare the sunset for heavy weather. Come, Miss Jay, I'll show you what to do. But don't worry, dear. It's not that naughty, without permission. It's not that, Sophie. I just wanted to finish listening to what Mallory had to say. And please join me on the bridge when you are ready. Oliver leaves, but to your surprise, Sophie remains, her curiosity piqued. So, 4 of the DNA tests were inconclusive. What did the 5th test say? There's a high probability that I am Sarah's sister. Sarah's sister. Well, not a long-lost sibling of Kurt's, at least. Jay just stares in astonished disbelief while something profound clicks into place for you. That's not possible. You're years apart. You look nothing alike. The test result is why I've allowed her to join us. I can't think of a rational explanation. I think it's possible. I don't see how. It's the crucible. As I said, crucible is just a big pot of things that you melt together. Usually the same kind of metal. But it could be, in a medical sense, it could be other things as well, I guess. I don't see how. Wait, what? Our family is so gossipy, I can't believe nobody would have said anything. And appearance aside, Grandma died years before you were born. And let us set aside conjecture and look to science. Sophie steps purposefully toward a confused Mallory. Ow! Dr. Allard won't settle for inconclusive. She'll get to the bottom of this. Dr. Allard? Don't look so surprised. Sarah was my colleague long before she was my friend. How do you think Oliver got this job? To be absolutely clear, I have no interest in the estate, no matter what the test reveals. I just want to find out who I am, and then I'll be on my way. That's not how things work in this family, Mallory. Are you... It's one thing that you're dating your sister in a game. It's a different if you also have the option to date your aunt. Just saying. Once you're part of it, we don't let you go that easily. Whether you like it or not. You can't help but notice she is looking at you as she says it. I really don't understand why we got a trust and love for Mallory on that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Now, was there anything else? Yes. I have an impossible favor to ask of you. You have a million reasons to say no. What kind of favor? A shipment of PGB 132 earmarked for human trials was recovered from customs yesterday. Mon Dieu! Oh, she is French too. How could you know of this? I found Sarah's notes on Project October, PGB 132, in the storage room on campus. Here's the thing. I need to pick someone up from the airport too. Amanda. Yes. Who is this Amanda? My best friend. She suffers from a rare variant of Rett syndrome. I'm going to stop you right there. What you're alluding to is out of the question. Ethical implications aside, we're risk-handling prisoners of victory by violating a court order. About that, if we neutralize the crooked judge, we nullify the court order. Mr. Chapman, if removing a state or federal judge were that easy, I reached out to some colleagues after Kurt told me what you were up against. On Thursday, Ledger will publish Judge Beer's text history with his ex-wife. Those text messages confirm your suspicion and will force his recusal, if not arrest. Setting aside for the moment that your friends hacked a federal judge's phone, if the price tag for it is treating your friend with PGB 132, we can't help you. No, I did it to help Kurt, even though it does remove an obstacle. It's also my way of thanking all of you for your kindness you've shown me. And for the record, there was no hacking involved. His ex-wife gave him up. Why would she do that? Wasn't she about to be set for life? Because in exchange, Ledger offered to paint her as part of the sting. With Judge Beer likely to face criminal charges, it was an easy choice. Still, impossible. Maybe when this all is cleared up, we can see about. Maybe when this is all cleared up, we can see about. Don't be ridiculous. You're a better man than this, George. Excuse me? We were already in candidate selection for human trials when Sarah passed. But we're not talking about a trial here, assuming she's even a candidate. We're talking about a rogue science. What would we tell her family if it went sideways? But think of what we could tell them, and the whole world, if it went right. George is right here. Let's not hide behind liability. She is a consenting adult, and we were ready months ago. It's all academic anyway. Lisa would have to make the call. You and I both know she'll listen to you. Sophie glances at two of you meaningfully. And Sarah's children. May I say something? Of course, my dear. Amanda was fortunate to have a relatively late onset, but she is out of time. She's exhausted every other option, and now she's up against the wall. If we wait until the lawsuit is settled, it will be too late for her. Maybe it already is. Consult Lisa if you must, but you know my vote, if I have one. You do the rest, George. Don't disappoint me. George's conflict is palpable, and he glances at you in silent appeal. It's unfortunate, but this is just too risky. I think it's worth considering. That is... I fucking knew we would have to choose here. But... first of all, me and Jay should not have a say in this whatsoever, because we have no understanding of this at all. We learned about this less than 24 hours ago, so we shouldn't be allowed to have a say in this. But I, as an enjoyer of science myself, I think it's too risky. Sorry, Mallory. Can we stall progress of her illness until we can do this the right way? That's not how it works. In late stages, the damage is physiological. Her body will change as well as her mind, and we can't reverse it. I agree with Sophie. It's a risk, but a risk for the right reasons. Mallory doesn't say anything, but stares at Jay in astonishment. Dr. Allard, you may prepare, but do not begin treatment unless cleared by Lisa or I. Jay Trust. Damn. Merci. Mallory, please bring Amanda directly to the campus from the airport. Jay, you must be Oliver's right hand while I'm ashore. He will count on you. I'll do my best not to let him down. We should head out before the weather gets any worse. As you step onto the deck, the sun-pale orb is already veiled by the advancing clouds. And that is where I cut off for today's episode. I believe that if we continue any further than this, it will be a long episode again. So I will cut it off here. I am so very curious about what would happen if we had said, given the whole thing an okay. I believe we would have gotten further along with Mallory, but I'm surprised that we got trust for Jay, honestly. And also the fact that we got love and trust for Mallory when we said there's no way that she's my aunt. Yeah, that was weird. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, just because you're not the main character, it does not mean you're not important. Goodbye, everyone.